Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
7:31 is your time. 41 degrees outside. Cloudy skies and real windy out there this morning. Brent and Dave with you here on a Friday morning. What in the heck is going on? What is happening? There should be an investigation.
Investigation of what, Dave?
What are they feeding these MNAC track athletes?
Oh, well, I tell you what, once we got on the track and started running, just about every record got broke, it seemed like. What a great day yesterday.
Yeah.
I have to compliment all the volunteers that help with not just yesterday, but track meets. I mean, it takes a lot of people to run a track meet, and pretty much, I'm assuming, all of it's volunteer help. And yesterday they ran not just a high school meet, but a junior high meet as well yesterday. And, man, everything just went so smooth. So congratulations to everybody who helped out with the MNAC track meet. That's where we were at yesterday. And, some phenomenal performances put in. A lot of MNAC records were broken. Of course, you remember that the MNAC came as a combination of the Sandhills Conference and the Old Loop Valley Conference. Mm-hmm. So, you still have some of those. It was interesting. I was looking at the record book, and they actually had the LVC and Sandhills records that were posted in that as well. But the records that we were announcing yesterday were the MNAC,
sure.
Once the two became one. So, I think 7 is what I counted. New records were set yesterday. So it was a good day for track and field competition, and what a beautiful day for golf. Want to wish the Broken Bow boys the best of luck at their home invite today, and everybody who's going to be golfing across the street today.
No.
And trying to battle these winds and everything else today. So a lot of stuff going on. I think Broken Bow has Southwest Conference track tomorrow. We got a story posted on Ansley Litchfield and SEM, who competed in the Fort Kearney Conference track and field meet. We'll actually do the audio of that for you tomorrow on the sports of that meet. So, here we are. We're right in the meat of the spring sports season now, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, getting right in the heart of it and getting ready for, the district meets, and then, of course, state. And they golf up in Mullen yesterday as well?
They did, yeah. I haven't, I've requested the results of the MNAC boys golf tournament, but haven't received them yet. So we'll see if maybe we can get those rounded up.
I've had the pleasure of golfing on that course just a few years ago. If it was as windy there as it was here, yesterday would have been a challenge. There's not a lot of trees on that course.
Yeah.
No protection except for hills. There's hills on that course, so I'm sure the kids got their way through that one too. But today would be. It's going to get partly cloudy later. If the winds would go down a little bit, it would help for golf today. But a little sunshine can make a lot of difference.
Oh, it makes a lot of difference. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, full swing ahead on the spring sports, no doubt about it. I was talking with my son Paul yesterday, and he's taking a weekend with some friends. He says this will be my last hurrah before baseball really gets underway, and then they'll dive into baseball season, which I think they're playing their first game in a week or two.
2 weeks from Sunday.
All right.
We're going to plan to broadcast. We always like to do their home opener, and they're scheduled to play Overton, I believe it is, on Sunday afternoon, May 14th.
Wow.
So can you believe that? 2 weeks away.
It's crazy.
So.
In talking to Paul, Jeff Denson's always thinking up stuff. And they're going to do some things that are going to be really fun at the baseball field this year. added things going on, special first pitches and acknowledging the firefighters and
Oh, nice.
having a day for your pets and all kinds of crazy stuff that they're working up. Might even have talking about maybe, I think they're going to have a Led Zeppelin day where all the music will be Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
You know, just some things.
I guess I could get into that.
So that's just some of the things that we talked about in passing. So baseball season, and of course, we're talking Legion juniors and seniors, but it won't be very long, and the guys and gals will be playing softball and baseball at the DYO levels. And
Yep. Now Spirit softball.
Spirit softball.
Yeah.
So it's all coming up. Getting through track. Next thing you know, it's right in the middle of baseball. Swimming will start down the road, and
I've enjoyed. Got a couple of grandkids playing little kids soccer.
yeah,
Oh man, is that fun!
that's something else, isn't it?
And speaking of volunteers, thank you to everybody who helps out with these youth sports programs, because again, it takes volunteer help to do it. And I know that in a lot of cases, some people volunteer to coach when maybe they don't want to, but they do it so that the kids can play. And as I guess a grandparent now, I can't
Wow.
believe I'm saying that.
Yeah.
But anyway, just as a spectator, thank you very much for doing that for the kids.
Yeah.
The kids appreciate it, and people like me appreciate it too. Although I will tell you, when you go up there for the soccer games, you know, and you're parking in the lot, be very careful in that parking lot. My goodness, I was trying to get out of there the other day. It's like getting out of Memorial Stadium.
It's not
man.
easy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, having grandson play there, I understand completely. And it seems like if there's any wind, it's pretty windy up there t's
Yes.
And
yeah, it does
there's
seem
like
so.
herding butterflies is the way we always talked about it with soccer, you know, especially the little ones. It's just kids running around having fun, basically. And
It's good to watch.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
lot of fun. You know, whatever community you're listening from, and you have those volunteers that are through the Lions Club or
Optimus,
whatever. Yeah, those organizations kind of go unnoticed every once in a while, but they pop up when it comes time to help kids. And volunteers, yes, thank you very much. Also enjoyed the story this morning that Grant had on with Lindsay Cook from the Custer County Foundation. They are bringing back your opportunity to make donations to the fire fund to help our local fire departments, and that's a really good way to do it, because that way you don't have to try to decide which fire department you're going to send your money to, and they'll assess needs with the donations that are made. And people, I guess, according to the story, were asking about, are you going to do that again this year because of the situation that took place up in the Sandhills, the fires up there, and only 1,200's in the gauge this morning. That won't last very long, and we're going to need to support our fire departments more than ever. And what a great way to do that. And I guess on the financial side, if you are making those donations through the Custer County Foundation, at least a portion of those donations are tax deductible as well. So kind of think about that. I think we were talking about making some donations. I think that's what we'll do, just write a check to the foundation, and you need to note that it's for the fire fund. And, we'll put some money towards all the training and all the equipment and all the repairs and all the things that they have to do when they get done fighting fires and get ready to fight the next one. So,
Yeah.
all right, it is Arbor Day today. America's folks are encouraged to plant a tree today. Not just putting one anywhere, kind of plant it out. I think a lot of us have planted trees and then years later wondered why we planted the tree there. So you might want to kind of, plant it out, but plant a tree. Provides clean air, shade on a hot day, and just adds a lot of beauty to your property. So plant a tree if you can. It's also International Pay It Forward Day, so I guess that goes to what we were just talking about. Creates a huge ripple effect of kindness when we pay forward. So this is International Pay It Forward Day. And it's also National Superhero Day. And this also fits into what we were just talking about. I know Batman is very important, but the real-life heroes are our nurses, teachers, truck drivers, firefighters, EMTs, people that take care of folks at the hospital, the nurses and so forth. So take a minute to say thank you for all they do. So those are some things to think about. Today is Friday, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Was anybody like me? Yes, I thought yesterday was Friday. Was
Yeah.
anybody else like that? Maybe it was because the track meet got moved.
Maybe it
for
was.
me. I don't know, but boy, oh boy, yesterday just felt I had to keep reminding myself. All right, today's Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah. Apologies because of the, I don't know if that's the reason or not, but I realized at the end of morning devotions this morning on KCNI that it was the Thursday edition, so there was a repeat there.
Oh.
Fridays didn't get put in, and so it was a great presentation by Pastor Sainer. So apologies, Pastor Sainer, but we got the same show in that we had in yesterday. Maybe because we thought it was Friday or Thursday. I don't know. This new, we did an update on our digital audio system. And I really hate the every other line being highlighted because when you put your little mouse on what you want, then they both highlight, and I find myself pulling in the wrong file.
Oh, sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to give Kristen the benefit of the doubt that maybe she thought she had Friday's devotion and it was Thursday's. Now, I know a lot of times that radio stations and media, when they make mistakes, they don't point it out.
Yeah.
A lot of them go on like, hey, nothing happened. It's okay. Nobody called. But we like to get it right, and we apologize for that today. Oh, man, I got to play a clip. So I'm going to save this one. Anne Margaret's birthday today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know we think of Anne Margaret as the super hot redhead actress that she was, but she was, and probably still is, a very talented singer and dancer when she started her career. And one of the songs that she did was Bye Bye Birdie. That really put her on the map. She also sang The Lady Loves Me with Elvis Presley. But she was, I don't know, she sure wasn't the first, but she was the first one back in that time period that was known as, a super star. And a lot of it, I know she was a beautiful lady, and people oohed and awed about that, but she was actually really talented and a good actress, funny actress too.
Yeah.
So it's her birthday today. She's 82
Wow.
today. And Ellen Kagan is the fourth woman to become the member of the U.S. Supreme Court. She's 63 today. Jay Leno is 73 today. And, of course, he took over for Johnny Carson and did a great job, and then retired and started messing around with his cars in Leno's garage. And unfortunately, here a few months ago, he actually suffered some severe burns from a fire from one of his automobiles that he was working on. I guess, according to the literature out, that he's doing okay and back at it again. But he loves his automobiles.
Yeah.
73 today. So that's the birthdays today. If you're celebrating a birthday, happy birthday. One more local one that I am aware of. Mustang Sally.
Oh, wow. All right.
I should find the song.
I was going to say it's kind of tradition.
Yeah, I'll have to find that. So
Okay.
before the show's over today, we'll play Mustang Sally. It's Sally Atkinson Bell's birthday today. She looks just like she did when she was a junior in high school. Hasn't changed a bit. Had art class with her. Very good artist, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very talented. A lot like Anne Margaret.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Happy birthday,
Yep.
Sally. Hope you have a great day.
So let's see here. School lunch menus. I didn't get mine out. Did you get yours out?
I've got mine.
Okay.
I'll get us started, and we'll start you at Sargent today, where they have pizza, corn, fruit cup, milk, and salad bar on the menu at Sargent Public School.
I still am digging over here.
Okay, that's fine. I'll go to Litchfield and let you know that Litchfield's going to serve super nachos today. That's on the lunch menu at Litchfield Schools.
At Dunning Sandhills Schools today, pizza, chips, and dessert.
Broken Bow pepperoni pizza, made fresh tater hot dish with dinner roll, fresh baked ham and turkey sub, grilled chicken shaker with roasted flatbread, and the grill station combo today, spicy chicken sandwich basket. That's at Broken Bow.
At Arnold today, No school.
All right. Anselmo Myrna today showing Pizza Hut pizza, made fresh scalloped potatoes and ham with dinner roll, and a fajita deli wrap on the menu today at Anselmo Myrna.
Thedford, it's French dip sandwich, curly fries, and baked beans. And at Ansley, it's hamburgers, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
All right. Those are your school lunch menus. Your menu today for the Prairie Pioneer Center in Broken Bow. Again, if you'd like to join them for dinner, please give them a call by 9 a.m. so they can be prepared. Number to call is 872-6121. And today at the Prairie Pioneer Center, it's Cook's Choice.
All right. Boy, I got a mess over here. I got papers everywhere, and I can't find any of them. Let's play the game.
Let's do. New batch of questions here for you. It's all about the Louisiana Purchase. It was made on April 30th, 1803. And so here are some trivia questions about the largest land acquisition by treaty in recorded history. The land of the Louisiana Purchase was to the west of what major river? Was it the Mississippi, the Ohio, the Colorado, or the Allegheny River? The land of the Louisiana Purchase was to the west of what major river? The Mississippi, the Ohio, the Colorado, or the Allegheny? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
The grocery cart has served Custer County for more than 40 years. Hormel lean and tender pork cutlets are $2.48 a pound. Toss Johnsonville fresh brats or sausages on the grill at $4.98, and save on Bluebonnet margarine quarters, 3 for $5. Bags of Dole shredded lettuce are 2 for $3, and get Heinz squeezed ketchups for $3.98 in a 38-ounce bottle. Get 120 rewards points when you buy Best Choice steamed fresh veggies at 4 for $5. Grocery cart, East Highway 2, Broken Bow.
Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow is excited to see you this spring. Right now, 650 milligram calcium with vitamin D3 is $11.49. Or get 500 milligram caplets with vitamin D3 for $7.99. Save on Century 50 Plus multivitamin and multiminerals for women or men. 100 count tablets are $6.99. 300 count for adults 50 and over are $12.99. As are Century Adult 300 counts. Varney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
And the phone just started ringing, so we'll pick it up and see who we have on the line. Good morning. Who are we talking to?
Wayne Duda.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, good. You have to go to school today?
Yeah,
Oh, boy. What grade are you in?
third grade.
Third grade. All right. Well, you're almost done with the school this year. What are you going to do this summer?
We're going to plant flowers in the garden.
Oh, that
nice.
sounds like fun. Well, here's Brent with your question.
Okay, the land of the Louisiana Purchase was to the west of what major river? Was it the Mississippi, the Ohio, the Colorado, or the Allegheny?
Mississippi.
The Mississippi River, you got it. And because you've answered correctly, you like pizza?
Yep.
All right. Well, we've got a certificate that's going to get you a free personal pan pizza, one topping at Pizza Hut. So you just come on out when you can, and we'll have your certificate ready for you to pick up, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. 10 minutes before the hour. Hayes Carl right after these words.
There's a reason you should buy Kane USA beef, because you can taste the difference. Kane USA beef is USDA certified and ready for sale by the cut or side at their location on Highway 2 in Broken Bow. Always all natural, no growth hormones. Premium beef.
All right, we're back live here. You just heard Hayes Carl with Nunya. Now it is time to talk about Broken Bow Library activities with Megan Swoboda, who is the director there. This is all brought to you by Nebraska State Bank. They paid for the time here this morning. How you doing, Megan?
Great.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you guys.
You know, one of my favorite memories.
Oh, dear. Here we go, Brent. Okay, let's hear it, Dave.
When you were dating John.
Oh, yes.
When you were in college, and you came back in the winter months, and you and John and I went ice fishing.
Yes.
We caught a whole bunch of northern.
Yes, we did.
That was one of my favorite memories. That
I
was
would
fun.
agree with that. That was back when ice fishing was a lot of fun.
Yes. You can almost reach in and grab one. back in those
Yes.
days. And
Watch
then,
out for their teeth, though.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Those northern pike, you got to be a little careful.
And that day I decided, you know, that John's all right. He's an ice fisherman, and Megan and him seem to really enjoy ice fishing together. I think they're going to make it. And it happened.
Yeah, I don't know how much thin ice I'm usually on with him, but 20-some years later.
Isn't that nuts?
Oh,
Yeah.
makes you feel a little old probably, Dave.
That makes me feel old. You're still young. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, I still think of that often. So you had an activity last night that was an input meeting for the Broken Bow Library.
That is correct. Jeremy helped us, and he did a wonderful job. He kept us on track, and we had a lot of good feedback from the community. So I thank Jeremy for helping us with that and all of the people that came last night. So we got some good information, and we'll be moving forward with our process of getting our accreditation done. So.
And that accreditation is kind of important. Can you explain that real quick?
Well, they've kind of revamped it. It will last for 5 years now, but basically we want to get reaccredited at the gold level, which is the highest you can get. And then if you are accredited at the gold level, you receive the most state aid from the state, and you also are able to apply for more grants and different funding. And plus, it sounds really nice.
Yeah, it does. It's got a good ring to it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
definitely.
Yeah, gold. That's not bad. A little bit of real, briefly, I understand you just got the input last night, so probably going to kind of organize and everything. What was one of the main input items that you heard, or was it really vast?
We talked about, basically we were looking at like the community as a whole and what we need to work on as a community, and then how the library could assist with some of those needs maybe. But a lot of them that we kept hearing was daycare. And I wish that I could address that and fix that, and the housing, of course, that is another one. But I know that there are a lot of people working on the housing issues. So,
well, the input for daycare, I can't imagine. I mean, you have a lot of activities for youngsters,
right?
At all age levels.
All ages, yes.
And I would think it would be hard to maybe add on a daycare.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that's the direction we want to head at this time.
That would be a challenge.
That would be a challenge. Yeah, but definitely if anyone is thinking about starting a business and you love kids, that would definitely be something to add to our community.
It would be beneficial to everyone. Everybody's going through the same thing all the way across the country, so that's kind of the way it is right now. Hopefully we'll get it fixed.
Yes.
All right, so that was last night. No, you'll put that together and move forward on that. Now, you talked about a special prom or something.
Yes. We have the daddy-daughter date night in February, and that has been a huge success and hit with everyone. And we have heard from several of the moms that they would like an event very similar for their son. So we have the mom prom coming up on May 12th. And you would need to get tickets for that because it is a small fundraiser too. So all of the money we raise for that goes back into programming for kids and adults. But we will have a live DJ and games and finger foods, and non-alcoholic beverages, of course. And moms can be escorted by their sons or bonus sons or son figures, and any of the sons that are ages 4 and up. And there's no age limit on that. So the cost is $30 per couple.
$30 per couple.
Now,
Yes.
did you just say no age limit?
Well-
Mom in Arkansas, if you are listening, come on up and take me to prom.
Oh,
Take
Peggy.
me to the mom prom. That would be awesome.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Megan. I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, if you want to do that, it's right around Mother's Day. We were thinking that would be a perfect Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be. Plus, if you had all different, I imagine it'll be mostly the younger kids.
Right.
But, God, what a way to rub elbows with the little guys and gals.
Yeah.
And, that'd be fun.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's just for moms and sons, though.
that's right. Moms and
So,
sons.
Yes.
Okay.
But
That's what date again? That's on the...
May 12th, and you do from 6:30 to 9:30, and you do need tickets for that, but you can get them at the door, but they are a little more at the door.
Sure.
So
Okay. All
think
right.
ahead and do that.
Well, I know you guys well enough to know that you have that going on and some other things. You always have things for everybody. What else you want to highlight?
Well, we have our summer reading program coming up, and that is for all ages, 0 to 125. I don't know however old you can
Make it.
still be, I guess.
If you can
So-
still get around and read at 125, come on in.
Yeah, I would like to read with you. So that will be starting here soon, and we have programs on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays this summer, and that will start. We're kicking that off on May 22nd with our author visit. Tashka Lee will be there, and she is a Nebraska author, and we have copies of the book available, and this would be more for teens and adults. So I encourage everyone to stop by the library and check out a copy of the book and come and listen to the author and see how she gets her cool ideas.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes, and we also have an art show going on. We have the preschool art show and daycare art show. Heather Schmidt put that together. And then the Arrow Artists on the other side of the library, they also have their art on display too. So
That makes it a lot. I don't know. It's just fun having the art displays in there. Just kind of, well, you come into the library, you come to get a book, and can walk around and take a look and see all the talents that's, being put to work there. So,
yes.
all right.
And we have a couple of Glowforge classes and Cricut classes coming up too in May. So
Say that again.
Glowforge.
Oh, glow for it. And how does that work?
Well, it's basically a laser engraver.
Oh, okay.
So we have some of those classes going on as
I
well.
see. All right.
And then the Cricut, it's where you could make like stickers and different decals to put on your cups or walls. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You guys got it going on at the Broken Bow Library. Now, I have a final question,
Okay.
and this won't be personal. Maybe I'll add one at the end that would be. But
Okay.
anyway, for folks out there that have lived here forever or have just moved to town, maybe have kids that are coming to the age where a library would be a good tool to have. What's the process? Do you get a library card now? Is there a fee? How's that all work?
Yeah, I'm happy you asked that, Dave. So it's a very simple process. You come into the library and there is an application form. And we don't ask your weight or your blood type or any of those things. It's very pain-free.
That's good.
And so you fill that out and then you have to provide some sort of identification just so we can verify your address in case you happen to want to keep the library books, because the idea is to bring them back so
Yes.
everyone can enjoy them. And then you do get a library card, and they are free for everyone no matter where you live. And with that library card, you get access to the Libby app, which there are thousands and thousands of free ebooks and audiobooks, kind of like Audible, but for free. So that is something that we're very proud to offer.
That's a pretty good deal. Free.
Free.
Yeah, and it didn't used to be that way. I think if you lived outside of Broken Bow, it was a higher fee or you paid a fee, and now it's just straight across the board.
Yes, that was something that we changed after the renovation because we did use city sales tax dollars for that project. So we thought it was only fair to extend that out to
Include
everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. All right. Well, I know you're busy at the library and busy with family things. You have a daughter graduating from high school.
Yes. It is so exciting, and I haven't cried yet, so I'm not going to cry right now.
I won't force you to do that.
Okay.
I think I know you well enough to know when to quit.
I'm just teasing you, Dave.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot. And are you fully staffed at the library? Everything? You don't have any openings or anything?
Not currently, but if anyone is interested in applying at the library, we do take applications at any time.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Dave and Brent.
Megan Holcomb Swoboda.
You got it.
Yeah. Married to John.
Yeah.
The fisherman.
There you
Fisherman.
go. And by the way, this time sponsored by Nebraska State Bank. Thank you for that.
Thank you. You betcha. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. The death toll is up to at least 19 in new Russian missile strikes in central Ukraine. Most of the victims were in an apartment building. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
It comes as Ukraine's defense minister makes this announcement just today. Preparations for the counteroffensive are being wrapped up. As soon as there is God's will, the weather, and the decision by commanders, we'll do it.
Vice President Pence spent hours testifying before a grand jury investigating an alleged pressure campaign to change the results of the 2020 election. Former federal prosecutor Scott Frederickson.
One would think that the special counsel is very close to finishing. This is indeed probably the most significant witness.
South Carolina's 5 female state senators, 3 Republicans, a Democrat, and an independent, helped block an abortion ban. Margie Bright Matthews.
This is born out of nothing else except for your superiority and your belief that we are chattel.
She was addressing male lawmakers. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, troopers with the Nebraska State Patrol have arrested a Washington man following a fatal crash in Furnace County, which has claimed the lives of 2 people and critically injuring 3 others. At approximately 12:15 p.m. Thursday, a Hyundai Santa Fe was traveling northbound on Highway 283. At that time, a Dodge Ram 3500 pulling an empty car trailer was traveling westbound on Highway 89, which has a stop sign at the Highway 283 intersection. The pickup ran the stop sign and struck the passenger side of the Hyundai. One occupant of the Hyundai, an adult female, was pronounced deceased on the scene. 4 additional occupants of the Hyundai were transported to hospitals in critical condition. One of those patients, a female child, was flown by helicopter to the Good Samaritan Hospital in Kearney and has since passed away. The driver of the Hyundai and another female child were transported to a Cambridge Memorial Hospital. The driver has since been flown to Bryan Health West Campus in Lincoln. A male child was transported to the Norton County Hospital in Norton, Kansas, and has since been flown to a hospital in Wichita. All 3 remain in critical condition. Names are being withheld at this time pending notification of family. The 2 occupants of the Dodge were transported to the Norton County Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Once released from the hospital, the driver of the Dodge, identified as K.I. Unloff, age 28, of Linwood, Washington, was arrested for motor vehicle homicide and was lodged in the Phelps County Jail. The Nebraska State Patrol is conducting a full crash reconstruction investigation.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft, 3 quarterbacks were selected in the first round, and all 3 came in the top 4 picks. Carolina Panthers selected Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama, with the number 1 overall pick. The Houston Texans selected quarterback C.J. Stroud from Ohio State at number 2. Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida, was the 4th overall pick of the Indianapolis Colts. Kentucky's Will Levis was the most notable quarterback, still waiting to be selected. As far as by position, 5 offensive tackles were selected on day one, the most of any position. 4 defensive tackles, 4 defensive ends, 4 corners, and 4 wide receivers. 3 outside linebackers, 2 running backs, and 1 inside linebacker and 1 tight end. NFL news, right before the draft, the Baltimore Ravens signed cornerback Lamar Jackson to a 5-year, $260 million deal, $185 million in guaranteed money. One NBA playoff game, it was the Celtics beating the Hawks in Atlanta, 128-120. Jaylen Brown, 32 points. Jason Tatum, 30 points as Boston takes that series 4-2.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see some partial sunshine developing with highs working up into the upper 50s. Winds stay gusty out of the north and northwest at 20 to 35. Then for tonight, becoming mostly clear with winds becoming lighter overnight, we'll drop back to a low of 33. Lots of sunshine for your weekend. Windy Saturday, a high of 68, and for Sunday, low 60s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
It's true, many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than preparing for retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, I agree, and I'd like to help. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Tim McCaslin.
And I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Janet Lawhorn.
Together, we can give your long-term retirement strategy the attention it deserves. Stop by our office on the north side of the square in Broken Bow or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
10 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. It is still 41 degrees under a cloudy sky. Winds north 25 to 35 plus miles per hour. Barometric pressure continues to rise at 30.03. Humidity at 84%. High yesterday 72. Overnight low of 41. Sunset today at 8:32. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:39. And we have recorded 0.12 of an inch precipitation as of 7 o'clock this morning. I was hoping for more, but we'll take what we can get. 0.12 brings our total 0.16 for the month of April. 41, cloudy and windy. We'll be right back with more of The Breakfast Show.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
12 minutes past the hour, right on time. Casey Johnson is here from Mid-Plains Community College. How you doing, Case?
I'm chuckling.
You're what?
I'm chuckling at the description of right on time. Nobody ever says that about me.
Well, you were. The commercial was playing, and you walked in.
What time is it?
It's 12 and a half past.
On the sheet, we have this little sheet.
Oh God!
That shows when people come in. It says 8:11:15.
Oh man!
For Mid-Plains Community College.
Wow!
I think you walked in the door right at that time.
If it wouldn't have been so windy out, it probably would have been a few seconds earlier. About blew me backwards.
Yeah. Right on time.
It is breezy out there.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, I guess I started out my day on time. That's new for me.
And a Friday, too.
I know.
That's a good sign. You're
Oh,
going to have
boy.
a great weekend.
I know. It is going to be a nice weekend. Let's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got high school graduations coming up.
We do.
What in the world?
I
Where did
have
the time
been,
go?
Well, I talk about being on time. I've been all over the place this week because it's my favorite time of year. When I get to deliver all of the honors cords to area high schools. So sometimes I get to go to like an honors night and hand them out. And then sometimes I just drop them off and talk to the seniors a little bit. But it's always fun because, you've been working with these kids for 2 or 3 or more years and you kind of get to say goodbye and good luck and come back and visit. And so that's been a really fun week getting to do that. And then, of course, they're all getting ready for graduation, and it's just a really exciting time. Love it.
This whole dual credit course that high schoolers are able to, work on college credit while they're still in high school, this has become an absolute game changer, hasn't it?
It really has. And I'm really proud of the kids, number one, and then their parents, who have really just kind of embraced the culture of doing dual credit classes and taking them and kind of thinking about their future. I always want to caution students, don't get too ahead of yourself. You've got plenty of time in your adult life to, get real serious. But on the other side of that, you kind of need to be thinking ahead a little bit and planning and doing the things that are going to lead you down the right path. And kids are they're just really savvy nowadays, and they come in and they don't want to just take a class to take a class. They want to take it because it means something. So that's always kind of nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, I like it. And that's kind of what the focus is right now is it's like this sweet spot of time. It's time now for students to get registered and I'm talking about early entry students, high school students. We need to get them registered, but we have to do it quickly before they all leave for summer, So it's a little bit of a crunch to get everyone in, because I cover 7 different high schools. So
wow.
So getting to all of them, and sometimes that means 2 visits or more, kind of depending on, like I went to a school the other day and it was skip day when I got there.
Oh, no.
And, which the counselor felt really bad because she didn't know that they were all going to skip school that day, And so...
the skip day usually isn't on the school calendar,
No, they don't usually plan that out. But so, we go with the flow, and we did what we could that day with the kids who were there, and then I'll go back again, and we'll get everybody taken care of. But just a reminder to students and parents, if you're in town or you're local and you want to come in and get some help getting your classes taken care of, we can do that here on campus too. And we do have students that will stop and do that, which is kind of nice, because then we don't take the run the risk of missing you if I'm out at a school or something like that. So it's kind of nice. And then students are getting, it's 2023. These kids know technology much better than we do. And students are getting really good about, they can just, they know what to do. They go online, they go log into their campus web, and they get themselves registered. So sometimes they make a mistake, but that's what we're here for, is to check and make sure they're in the right place. So so
boy, that's handy though. And like you say, you kind of follow up and make sure they're good to go. It's a fun time of year, as you mentioned, and we've for years, I don't know how long, been honored to do the senior salutes.
Yes, that's always so fun.
And I just, over the years, following what the kids are planning on doing, it's been really fun, and it has changed a little bit, because there are a lot more students have gotten their credits ahead and are hopping right in the middle of college because of that, and some of them are going off to the trades and so forth. I'm sure that's part of the joy for you too, to see all the diversity out there that the kids are looking at.
Absolutely. I mean, they're just being smart. They're being smart with their money and smart with their parents' money, and smart with their time, and just making good plans. If you remember, last year we were celebrating Molly Staples graduating, getting her associate's degree at the same time she was graduating high school. And I believe last year we had 2 or maybe 3 students last year, high school students that graduated around the area. This year we have over 10.
Wow.
So, they're really working hard. That takes a lot of time and a lot of dedication. And you really have to start that plan. If you want to graduate, you kind of have to start that, way back, like your sophomore year of high school, at least making the plan of what it's going to look like. And, obviously they are. And we don't have any from Broken Bow this year or any of the surrounding schools, but I have no doubt that within the next few years, we'll be seeing those kinds of high school students popping up all over. So Molly was a trendsetter.
She was. Boy, what a jump start on your second layer of education. And also the money savings that you mentioned.
Yes.
Is huge too.
Just a reminder that if you're an early entry student, our regular tuition rate for this fall will be $120 per credit hour. That's for regular students, adult students, and that's tuition and fees. But if you're an early entry student, a high school student, your tuition rate is $46 a credit hour.
Wow.
So that's a huge savings. So you're basically paying for your entire class for less than it would take you to pay for one credit hour at another institution. So, I always tell parents if they're questioning, well, is this going to transfer? Is it going to be what they want it to be? You're taking a little bit of a risk, but it's a pretty inexpensive risk. And even if it doesn't do exactly what you want it to, you've gotten the experience and at a pretty low price. So
yeah.
That's what we tell students. So.
Okay. Anything that you wanted to promote that's coming up for classes or for adults and students?
Yeah. So so today is the last chance for our monthly CPR class, which will be this Sunday. A little bit different. We normally do these on Fridays, but this Sunday from 12 to 5 is our April CPR class. And the reason that it is on Sunday is because we have planned this for babysitters. So if you are a young person or a not young person and you're going to be caring for children, I know a lot of our high school kids and even younger, nanny over the summer, babysit, take on jobs like that. And if you want to get CPR certified, this is the class for you. I've got about 4 seats remaining in that class. But you have to call me today to get in there. And you need to do that by noon so that I can let the instructor know. So today by noon is the deadline to sign up for this month's CPR class. Now we will go back to our regular last Friday of the month and next month in May. But this is for babysitters, this coming Sunday. So
okay,
come on in.
Come on in.
Yes.
And more of those to come. But if you want to get on the April one.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just a programming note, I guess.
Yes.
As I mentioned, I've been out recently at a lot of schools, and the next couple of weeks will be no exception to that. I am gone a lot in the next couple of weeks. Well, I have a couple of my daughter is graduating from college.
Yes.
And so I'm going to be out of town for that. For over the next couple of weeks, and then a lot of school visits. So if you stop into the college, there's usually a sheet up on the front desk that you can leave your name and phone number, and I'll get back to you. Or if you call, please leave me a voicemail. I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. The best way to get a hold of me right now is email. Mm-hmm. It's the fastest, and I check it most regularly. But just an FYI, if you stop in, you might not find me there in the next couple of weeks. So
makes sense.
Yes.
Speaking of that, are you still looking to fill a position there?
We are.
Okay.
We are. The position was closed, and we're going to reopen it. So be on the lookout for that in the next couple of weeks. It will be re-advertised, and we're going to do a new search. So
okay, very good. Well, have fun this weekend, and sounds like exciting things both with Mid-Plains and in your family. So,
yes.
So enjoy it all.
Thank you, and good luck to the boys golf team today.
Yeah.
Stay warm.
As best you can.
I know. I hate it when days come up like this, but hopefully they can get some good scores out there today.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, we're supposed to see some sunshine, partly sunny, partly cloudy skies later today, so that'll certainly help. But that wind's going to be pushing hard. So
yes. Go long on number 4, I guess.
Yes. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Case.
Thanks.
It is 8:23. We'll take a time out. We're going to be visiting with some guests from the Broken Bow Rotary as the big convention is here today and tomorrow at the One Box Convention Center. And later on in the show, we'll be broadcasting live from Gun Sense at Mason City. They've got a big weekend coming up for you as well. Stick around. It's all coming your way.
Gary's Superfoods online at GarySuperfoods.com. Shop with them and save on 85% lean ground beef, sold in a 10-pound tube for $3.59 a pound. 4-pound bags of Open Acres navel oranges and 3-pound bags of grapefruits or Cara oranges are $3.99. Packages of blackberries and raspberries are 2 for $5. Don't forget they now stock delicious Billy Jack's frozen pizzas, or try their sushi as well. Gary's Superfoods, South B Street in Broken Bow.
Is pain keeping you from doing what you love? If your neck, shoulders, back, or knees are preventing you from feeling your best, it's time to take action. Whether you've had it for years or it's due to a recent injury, you don't have to live with the pain. Pearson Physical Therapy of Broken Bow offers personalized treatments and flexible appointments that work around your busy schedule. Call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or visit us on the web at pearsonpt.com. The treatment you need, the care you deserve.
Rise and shine.
All right. The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN.
A lively Friday show, and we are going to take another quick time out and get our next guest seated here in the studio. Should I use, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should I use mic 6 for this? This is very special.
I don't know, Dave. That's up to you. I know that sometimes for any interviews you like to go to mic 6. So I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, I'll make that decision within the next 90 seconds.
Okay.
When you visit RT Ace Hardware in Broken Bow this month, you're saving. Quick and free in-store sign-up to be an Ace Rewards member will bring you deals all year. Right now, save on Scott's Naturescapes Color Guard Mulch in Sierra Red, Classic Black, or Deep Forest Brown, 4 for $20. Perfect around trees, shrubs, flowers, and vegetables. It doesn't just look good, it contains only natural products. No construction debris or pallet wood here. Shop RT Ace Hardware all month long in Broken Bow.
Spring is here and summer will be here before we know it. Come and prepare for either with us at Bow Bootery. We have so many beautiful sandals and fun flip-flops. Some brands that won't let you down include Clark's, Teva, Bourne, Merrill, and Viking, just to name a few. Visit Bow Bootery and you'll be flip-flopping around in no time with happy, comfortable feet. Bow Bootery, we're your home-owned shoe store on the square in Broken Bow.
With more ways than ever to connect to news and entertainment, did you know that 90% of new car buyers want the tried and true AM/FM radio option? That's because your local radio stations are reliable, trustworthy, and bring you a local connection that can't be replicated. Not to mention, we are free, no subscription or cell data required. More than 80 million Americans each month depend on AM for their news, weather, and entertainment. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress we need AM radio in cars.
Ready to get your garden and flower beds going for the season? Make your way to the beautiful Sun Valley Landscaping in Ansley. Chas and her staff have worked hard to offer you a great variety of plants for any space. From vegetables for your garden to hanging baskets for your porch and trees and shrubs as well. Go explore the greenhouse Monday to Saturday 10 to 5 and Sunday noon to 5. Located east of the fire hall off Highway 2 in Ansley, Sun Valley Landscaping.
There's a lot of uncertainty in ag and business today. One thing you can always count on, though, is Nebraska State Bank, looking for ways to help local ag producers and businesses be successful. Right now, NSB is running an ag and commercial equipment loan special that features a 6.49% fixed interest rate for qualified customers. You heard that right, a 6.49% fixed interest rate. Call one of their local experienced ag loan officers at 872-2466 to find out more about this limited time loan special. Nebraska State Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
8:28, and we just realized that Grant Winter, our news director, is interviewing our guest from the Rotary for news and I assume even public affairs. I'm not sure, but I don't believe that that's the protocol that is held here at KCNI KBBN. I believe the breakfast show is the top show here out of the studios, and now we've been preempted by the news department.
Yeah, I guess we have.
This is a problem.
Wow.
So I guess what we'll do...
I'm actually nervous. I mean, they're being interviewed by Grant, and then they got to come be interviewed by us. I I don't know. I don't know about that. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm thinking about the questions Grant is probably asking compared to what you and I might ask.
Well, that and the vocabulary itself.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, there's going to be some big words spoke in there.
Yeah. And then they got to come here and talk to us. I wonder, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous how they'll kind of think, after being interviewed by someone like Grant, to then have to come and talk to you and me.
Well, that's still, the protocol is the breakfast show is the top-rated show.
Yes.
And I just feel like that we're being, it's a little jaded. Let's just put it that way. That's a pretty big word, jaded.
That is, yes.
Russell Title and Escrow Company is looking for a good employee. They have an opening for full or part-time administrative assistant, and the candidate should demonstrate good customer service skills, strong attention to detail, proficient computer skills, and the ability to multitask and transition easily between files, walk-ins, phone calls, and day-to-day tasks. And a little previous office experience would certainly help, but it is not required for your application. It's a very flexible and family-friendly schedule, paid time off, paid holidays, and a health plan available, and salary will be based on your experience. The duties include general office duties, research and update files, correspond with buyers, sellers, lenders, attorneys, and real estate agents, and prepare preliminary title documents, closing documents, and policies. If you have an interest or skills in this area, please send your resume to Russell Title and Escrow, Broken Bow, Nebraska. The post office box is 442, or you can email Sadie, S-A-D-Y-E, RussellTitleandEscrow.com. This information is available on Sandhills Express.
Always exciting when you see a new business come to town, and we want to say congratulations to Carrie Eberly. This is a big day in Ansley because Carrie Eberly is excited to have purchased Livia's Boutique in Main Street, Ansley, and she'll be opening the doors today from 2 to 7 and Saturday from 10 to 4 with door prizes for the first 10 customers. It's known as the E-Clothing Store, so visit the E today and tomorrow and get to know Carrie. Congratulate her, wish her the best. Again, the doors will open this Friday from 2 to 7 today and Saturday from 10 to 4, door prizes, and then all customers will have the opportunity to register for a chance to win 50% off one item. The E-Clothing plans to carry name brands for men, women, and children, along with accessories, greeting cards as well. So stop on in and wish Carrie the best and see what the store is all about. Also going into next week, that's when they'll start their regular hours, and their regular hours will be beginning next Tuesday. They'll be open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, open on Saturday from 10 to 4, but closed on Sunday and Monday. So stop on in to the E this weekend in Ansley.
All right, we'll take a time out. We'll get our guest in the studio next. Start checking items off your warm weather to-do list with the help of Ansley Lumber and Supply. They have the materials you need. LP Smart Siding, featuring premium diamond coat technology, will protect your home for years to come. To protect from the top, ask about shingles and other roofing options. Need to rework or build a deck? Ansley Lumber has great material options there too. Strong, high-quality materials to keep your home safe and strong for years, all from their friendly, knowledgeable staff to help you along the way. Ansley Lumber and Supply, Main Street, Ansley.
Cattlemen, spring is here and things are starting to green up. But alongside the good green like pasture grass and trees come the bad greens. Musk thistles, mullenweed, buckbrush, and other weeds. Let Aero Aviation help you get the bad green under control this spring. They use the latest in aircraft and GPS technology and crop protection products while keeping the good green in your pocket. Call Casey, Melissa, or Kim today and schedule spring spraying with Aero Aviation, 872-5113.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show with Dave and Brent.
8:33. Want to remind you folks that in the 9 o'clock hour, we'll be broadcasting from Mason City from Gun Sense, and that will also be on Facebook Live. And right now we have Facebook Live going for our guests in the studio. But Brent, I know that we are concerned about these guests because they just came out of the other studio with Grant Winter, our news director, who went to some fancy writing school, and his vocabulary is rather good. Yeah. And now the ladies are here in our studio, and we're going to look like dunces.
Pretty much. That's what we're concerned about.
No way. You guys are always on top of everything.
Yeah, would you introduce this is Deb McCaslin to start with, who has been with the Rotary for a number of years, and right now your position with the Rotary is?
I have a fancy title called Governor.
Governor, oh my gosh.
And my turf starts at Aurora, draw that magic line north to south in Nebraska, and then just travel west, from South Dakota to Kansas. And I have had so much fun this year.
Good.
Getting to know the communities that I thought I knew before I arrived, and I was wrong.
Well, we can all be wrong and still enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Right?
So in the studio today are two friends and lovely ladies, and frankly my role models, Pat Merriweather and Susie Howe. Now, when you think about it, Rotary has 17 directors, international directors, and 1.4 million people, 200, how many clubs? Over
32,000 clubs.
Wow. Oh, 32,000 clubs, 200 districts, 6. Oh, I better stop with the number crunching because I'm getting it all wrong. But 32,000 clubs. Thank you for rescuing me. And they've been directors for this. So, and they have wonderful leadership skills, and they know their stuff. So I need to turn it over to them. Right. And on my right here is studio audience that's watching in. Hi. The lady in the green is Pat Merriweather, and the lady in this wonderful pink is Susie Howe.
All right, I got you coded. We're you're in. You're in. Pat, welcome. Give us a little background outside of Rotary, where you're from, some family history, whatever you like.
Okay, I was born and raised in Chicago, and I live now in a suburb of Chicago in Naperville, and I work full-time at Project Patient Care, bringing the voice of patients and families to legislative and advocacy issues. And I have 4 sons, 3 daughters-in-law, and 7 grandchildren. And I have to mention 2 dogs.
And what are the dogs' names?
Zorba and Snuggles, and they were named by our grandchildren.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. That's the best kind.
Yeah.
What kind of dogs are they?
They're golden doodles, and one's brown and one's white. They were brothers. They're brothers. And we were going to pick up one. And then they called me, not my husband, they called me and said, we have another one if you want it. Somebody didn't want it. And so we ended up picking up 2, which was great because they tied for the names. The grandchildren tied for Snuggles and Zorba. And,
oh, perfect. Perfect. Pat, how did you get involved in Rotary then?
It's amazing. Rotary is just a few miles away from where my high school was. I never heard of Rotary, and I grew up in Chicago, raised in Chicago. When I moved to Naperville, and this is about 20 years ago, I went to, after 9/11, I was asked to go to China, and not by Rotary. It was through another program as an ambassador, and I went there, and one of my friends said, hey, can you come and talk to my Rotary Club? And the first question I asked, which is always the question people ask, what is Rotary? Mm-hmm. And so I was so amazed with the friendship, the fellowship, the interesting initiatives they were working on. They asked me if I would come back again for lunch, and I said yes. And that's how I became a Rotarian.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
Can you clarify something for us on the breakfast show? Because my oldest son lives in Chicago.
Oh.
And when I tell people that, sometimes they go, oh, Chicago, man, that's got to be a rough place to live. And can you explain to people that it's not that way everywhere, certainly most places?
I have maps of every place. There's a daily update of the maps of where all, people talk about the shootings and that. It truly is confined to some of the south and west sides, and it is all gang related. So if you're not in a gang, you're okay. I serve as the hospital chairperson of the board for a hospital in the most violent community in Chicago, in Englewood, where there's shootings almost every day and killings. I can walk throughout Englewood, and so can other people, because I don't look like a gang member. And if you're a young person, though, and you're Black or you're Latino, and in those communities, it is very hard for them not to be in a gang, because the gangs control the streets in certain communities. So it is very confined, and it's not all of Chicago. But again, we still, our hearts break for the communities that are going through it. And that's why I also think Rotary has a key role to play with young people in getting them involved and engaged in other initiatives like Interact and Early Act. So Rotary has a key role to play in peacemaking.
Well, you answered our next question, what Rotary, how that fits with that. And that misconception from folks like us out here when you talk about the problems in Chicago, it's pretty condensed, and it's kind of a shame that it gets that reputation, but it's great that Rotary's there to help try to fight this and get it straightened out. Thank you.
Yes, and we're having what's called the zone. It's 23 districts coming together next year in Evanston and Chicago. And we'll be hearing from the new mayor of Chicago, the mayor of Evanston, and again, what their plans are and how Rotary can be working with them.
Yeah. Well, one thing about Chicago folks I found is that my son actually lived in Seattle before, and Seattle's beautiful, and there's some nice people there. But Chicago's like Midwest. If you're looking around and you can't find a taxi, somebody helps you.
Yes.
You don't have to ask.
Yes.
And it wasn't that way in Seattle. So, and you seem like a very nice person too as well.
I hope I am.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank
Susie, give us a little background, would you?
Sure. I belong to Space Center Rotary down at south of Houston, and I am fascinated by the members of my club because I learn all about the space program. They were involved from the beginning. The territory that we cover is 5 clubs up in Canada through Minnesota, south. We jump over Oklahoma, most of Texas, all of Central America, Venezuela, Colombia, y la República Dominicana. Gracias a Dios, we can speak Spanish.
Wow.
So it makes for interesting friendships and partnerships.
Yes.
Boy, talk about really making the most out of life, meeting all the different people from different places. That's got to be rewarding. Yeah.
It sure is.
Yeah.
I just got back from a trip to Colombia, South America, and one of the places we visited was Medellin, and we went into the areas where the gangs were, but it's been cleaned up. And we took a walking tour in Commune 13, which was fascinating. So, best wishes on the job you have ahead of you.
Little family background, if you don't mind.
Sure. I brought my husband Bill with me. We're originally from Kansas. We went to the University of Kansas. Hopefully you don't bleep that out.
No, that's fine. We have an employee from Kansas.
And my mother said, Sus, would you like to live in a co-ed dorm? And I said, well, if you really want me to. So that's where I met my husband, Bill.
I did not know that.
It's a great story. And how did you get involved in Rotary?
Very good. I owned a Montessori school for children through 6th grade. And as I was building it, my architect, my broker, my financial planner all belonged to Rotary. And I found, they invited me, and I found I could go to Rotary and get all my questions answered at 11:45 on Monday because they would all be in the Rotary meeting.
Yeah. And then you got started, and how long have you been a Rotarian?
Oh my gosh. I have been in Rotary for 31 years.
Fantastic.
And I've enjoyed the people I've met. We do so much service in our club, like many clubs, I'm sure, in Nebraska. From feeding the hungry through COVID, we were out doing food lines. My club is very active in the space program. Is this Friday?
Yes, it is.
We have a big banquet tonight, the Our NASA banquet, that is all of the NASA contractors. They come together and honor the people in the space program. And last year, we had William Shatner come to town for that.
Well, that's fantastic.
And Susie chose to come to Broken Bow and miss this big banquet.
Well, thank you for doing that.
That, and I missed my own district conference, which is being held in Fort Worth, where I could have gotten on a longhorn cow for a photo op, but instead I chose Nebraska and a horse.
Well,
is this cool or is this cool?
It's really neat. And by the way, if you like, we know enough folks with cattle here. We can get you on one.
Do you have a stepladder?
Yes, I do. Right out back. What happens with this show is, we try to be very truthful on this show and stay with facts. The fact is, I talk a lot. And sometimes my partner, Brent, he just sits over there and he lets me talk and ask all the questions. So this is what I always try to do. Is Brent, do you have any questions you would like to ask?
Well, yeah, I'll ask one. I know that for Rotary, it's service above self. But I'm assuming, just hearing you talk already, there is still a lot of reward to self by serving others in Rotary. Can you just talk a little bit about that and maybe some personal experiences that you've had, and I'm going to open this up to all three of you, that you've had in serving others where you were rewarded yourself?
Brent, one of the projects my club and district support is the Guerrero Eye Clinic in Guerrero, Mexico. And we do up to 300 cataract surgeries 3 times a year. And we choose people who are already absolutely blind, cannot see anything. So when they go in, they're blind. When they come out and one of the eye patches has been taken off, one lady saw her grandchild for the very first time.
Wow.
So yes, my reward was right there.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I've been to about 25 countries working on global grants and initiatives, and every time there's a story there. The one we put in the first, and this was a challenge for Rotary because we put in the first dialysis center, Rotary Dialysis Center in India. And the reason the community wanted it, the Rotarians wanted it, is because the men were committing suicide when they found out that they had to go on dialysis because they couldn't afford it. And they didn't want to take their money away from their children's education. So the dialysis center had the effect of reducing the suicide rates among the men because, again, it was sometimes their diet that they were on and so many reasons, but they have the best dialysis centers because they require that the family gets educated on signs and symptoms to watch out for, as well as they also educate the family so that they don't develop diabetes and have to go on dialysis at some point. So that was rewarding. And then personally, too, within my club, the fellowship is there. I had 2 sons that were in the service and overseas, and one at one time, both of them. And every time I went to a meeting, somebody came up to me and asked me, how are they doing? What can we be doing to help them? So again, it's that ability to give to others, but then also be receptive to receiving as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's amazing. Today is International Pay It Forward Day, which is exactly what you're talking about here, which is kind of cool. And it's also National Superhero Day today. Mm-hmm. They have all these days they designate anymore. But it's kind of nice that that's fitting together what we're talking about here. Superheroes are people who help one another. Nurses, doctors, EMTs, emergency people, and then people like you who get a little outside the box and go help people that we don't think of day to day because we get busy with our own little personal lives and we don't realize all the different needs out there that you guys are addressing. I think it's amazing. You should be proud, I think. It's good to have you here, skipping all that, and then, I guess we got to get a cow for you. You want a longhorn one or just a regular?
You have a longhorn?
Oh, yeah, there's some Longhorns around here.
I think a couple got loose and walked around our neighborhood, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
A few weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Deb, this is quite an event you're having, and you've been able to get it here to One Box in Broken Bow, Nebraska. We've been talking about the last few days, this being today and tomorrow, and how the public can access. I think after listening to these very lovely ladies that there's a lot to gain by just being at the convention itself. How does the general public get involved? Is there tickets left? How does that work?
Actually, we have a few tickets left. The easiest way to do that would be to give me a call.
Okay.
308-870-2909. I can make it happen.
2909. And kind of a quick overview. You've been here before. We've talked about the guest speakers and so forth that you're having, and then some of the, I guess you get together and maybe bang around some ideas and so forth. What are some of the highlight speakers that you're having?
I think one of the highlights that we're doing, our club in our area has been very focused on, again, to educate against human trafficking. And so we have quite a panel that's coming in, and they'll be present tomorrow morning, then they'll do a Q&A in the afternoon. And two of the individuals we're bringing out of North Dakota. And it's a project called the 31-8 Project. I believe it comes from Corinthians. I'm not sure completely on that, but you know, it fits. So anyway, this particular project focuses on the reintegration into society for somebody who has been trafficked, and that's quite a step to make. And so on the panel, we do have a young lady who was trafficked, and it's just an horrendous story. But don't come to hear her story. Come to hear how this project is helping her to reintegrate into society. And Stacy Schaefer, who is the creator of this project and the brainchild behind it, will also be on this panel. We also have one of our state troopers, Tim Flick, he works for the Nebraska State Patrol, and he's worked very hard all across our state against human trafficking. Judge Tammy Shint, who's from Broken Bow here and a very, very good friend. She has seen this on multiple levels. She was our county prosecutor for quite a number of years before she put on the black robe to become a judge. And she's very passionate for this as well. Our best defense is education. We would like to say it's not here. We're in rural Nebraska, for gosh sakes. But when you step out and you realize that we're the intersection of Highway 2, 92, 91, Highway 70, we have tremendous traffic coming through here. And also, so much of the trafficking today, you don't leave your home. It's internet. And so we, at the convention this weekend, we have a sidebar convention happening at the same time. We have an Interact convention that's going to occur. And so this particular panel also has a program for high school kids. So they're going to come talk to the big crowd. And then they're going to go and talk. They've got a separate presentation for our high school kids. We are so honored and thrilled that they will be here for this. And we also have Letitia Boniface from Lexington that's coming up. They'll be part of the panel. And she mans our Central Nebraska hotline. She speaks several languages, and she's just they've seen it all. And if we can, like I said, the best defense is education. So, something raises that hair on the back of your neck, call 911. Just report it. Our law enforcement and our local law enforcement are very educated as well.
Okay. So this is underway and runs all through tomorrow as well. Now you have the, I'm not sure what this is, Brent, because, even though this is a top-rated show, and we have smarter guys out in what is a beer pairing dinner?
I knew where you were going with this.
How do you pair up beer?
I think all those tickets are sold.
That's what I heard.
And have been for a while, probably.
Yes, all of the tickets. It was kind of funny because when I called Cody, who is one of the 4 owners of Kincaid, I said, "Cody, will you do us a beer pairing dinner?" Years ago we'd done one in Broken Bow, and I know you do them into your Lincoln Brewery all the time. And he goes, "Oh, Deb, you have to guarantee me 50 participants, and I'll do it." Done deal, Cody. He goes, "You haven't sold them yet. Cody, I can sell them. Don't worry about it. We'll get you 50. About within a week, I called him and said, Cody, I've got your 50 and I've got 15 on a waiting list. Now tell me my max number. And he says, well, you can go to 65 if your board of directors for Rotary will sit out in the main room because I can only fit 50 in the side room. I said, well, I already have that on the waiting list. Let's talk real numbers here. And he goes, well, how much? Can you get to 80? Cody, I want to know what my max number is. And he said, 100. Okay, 2 weeks later, I called him back. I still have a waiting list, and I've got 100.
Wow.
So what he has done is Kincaider's, I'm very sorry out there for listening land, but Kincaider's is going to be closed to the public from 5:30 to 7. Now, you can still come and have a beer on the back deck. You may have to look at the weather a little bit, but come on out anyway. But the restaurant will be open to the public starting at 7 tonight.
Okay.
And then he's going to take folks through a tour, and it's a story in itself, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And have you been to a beer pairing before?
I have. Actually, my son, one of my sons, owns a brewery in St. Charles, Illinois, and I love Irish Red. That's typically my favorite beer. But again, I'll taste all of them because it really is. It's exciting. It is.
Get ready for a jalapeno beer.
Ooh.
Just putting it out there.
Susie, have you been to anything like that before?
No.
Well, I guess it's your first then.
It's absolutely going to be a hoot. We've got it's going to be fun tonight. We've got a great day planned tomorrow. Also, Alan Bierman will be our speaker tomorrow night, and he's speaking about really not so much service above self, but what you as a person get back from serving others. And he's a former Secretary of State in Nebraska. And he's the executive director emeritus, did I come close to pronouncing that correctly, for the Nebraska Newspaper Association.
Well,
and he's
Brent and I wouldn't know the pronunciation.
Yeah. Emeritus, that's beyond our head. Yeah.
Hey, you said it
Did I get it right?
I think you did much better than I did.
Thanks, Deb.
It rolled off your tongue and it got stuck on mine.
I just really have enjoyed having you guys in. It's been great. I'm sure the audience out there is probably going, wow, these very nice ladies come from that far away to be here in central Nebraska. We appreciate it very much and appreciate what you both do and all your other people out there that you work with. It's an amazing program, so thanks a lot.
Thank you, and also a special thank you to Deb. She has really been so energized, passionate, and she really has grown and shown Rotary to Nebraska. It's really very exciting to be here and to support her and celebrate the year that she has had.
Great.
It's super easy to talk about stuff you truly believe in.
Last question.
Is it trivia?
Uh-oh.
We're ready.
Pat, what's the best food in Chicago? I know you talk about the pizza and so forth, but what is, if people go to Chicago, what should they at least have once while they're there?
The pizza or a Chicago hot dog?
The hot dog, yes. And we won't get started with Brent on that, because if you get him on the Cubs, we'll never get out of here.
Yes.
Are you a Cubs fan?
Oh, yes.
Bless your heart, Pat.
I grew up 6 blocks from Cubs Park.
Wow. That was going to be one of my questions, but I got it answered. So you're talking to a loyal Cubs fan.
Yes,
we'll always
yes.
have 2016, won't we?
Yes.
Oh, here we
Amen.
go. Don't get him started. We don't have time.
So, Susie, are you is it Astros?
You've heard of the Houston
Yeah.
Astros World Series champions,
Oh,
right?
yes. Yes, I have. I have.
You're just laying that on the table just to make sure we know that.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
And next year we'll talk about the Cornhuskers.
Well, we hope.
I still bleed red.
Yes, absolutely.
So, Susie, if we went down south in your neck of the woods, would it be barbecue, or what would we want to ask for?
Oh, we have the best barbecue. I can give you a tour of several barbecue places that you wouldn't believe how great it is. But we're an international city, and we have many different kinds of restaurants. One of my favorites, my husband and I go to O Puerto, which is a Portuguese restaurant.
Oh, nice.
We love eating the tapas there, drinking the wine from Portugal and Spain. So come on down.
Sounds great. That area has grown so much. I mean, it's probably scary how much it's grown in the last 20 years, but the diversity of people certainly has come with that, and that's a bonus, I think, don't you?
It's great. There are festivals. Every community puts on festivals. You can participate. We live about an hour south, and we find many reasons to go back into Houston to participate.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Thanks, Deb. Thanks for bringing in these great people, and we hope you have a super good time while you're here, and thanks for being a part of the Breakfast Show.
Thank you for having us. This has been fun.
Thank you, guys.
Glad you've enjoyed it. We'll take a quick time out. We'll come back with the news at the top. We're going to go to Mason City next half hour. Stay tuned.
What's better than free? Nothing. Free is the best, and Bruning Bank has the perfect account for students and young adults getting started. With Bruning Bank's free checking account, you get all the perks with no pressure. No monthly service fees, no minimum balance, and you have access to online banking, bill pay, and mobile banking, and all services are mobile banking offers. Are you ready to get started with better banking? Visit us in person, online at bruningbank.com, or give us a call at 308-872-2757. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
With spring activities just getting underway, you may be experiencing some aches and pains. Call Team Physical Therapy at 872-5111. We offer state-of-the-art equipment and techniques to help you recover from back injury, muscle strain, or surgery. Call your movement rehabilitation specialist at 872-5111 or check us out at any of our locations in Broken Bow, Burwell, Gothenburg, Kearney, or Callaway. Let Team Physical Therapy get you back into shape for spring. 872-5111.
Listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KPBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. At least 19 people were killed, including 3 children, most in an apartment building in central Ukraine, hit by Russian cruise missiles. CBS's Charlie D'Agata.
The capital, Kyiv, came under attack, too, for the first time in weeks, with officials saying air defenses shot down 11 missiles and 2 drones.
The Army says 3 soldiers were killed, a 4th injured when 2 Apache helicopters collided during a training mission in Alaska. KTUU-TV's Beth Verge.
The helicopters, both carrying 2 soldiers each, and both from the 1st Attack Reconnaissance Battalion, 25th Aviation Regiment at Fort Wainwright.
5 female lawmakers in South Carolina blast male counterparts over a bill that would ban abortions. But Republican Shane Massey says he's upset about the high number performed there.
The only way for us to stop the exponential growth in numbers would be for them to act.
The new restrictions failed. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft, 3 quarterbacks were selected in the first round, and all 3 came in the top 4 picks. Carolina Panthers selected Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama, with the number 1 overall pick. The Houston Texans selected quarterback C.J. Stroud from Ohio State at number 2. Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida, was the 4th overall pick, the Indianapolis Colts. Kentucky's Will Levis was the most notable quarterback, still waiting to be selected. As far as by position, 5 offensive tackles were selected on day 1, the most of any position. 4 defensive tackles, 4 defensive ends, 4 corners, and 4 wide receivers. 3 outside linebackers, 2 running backs, and 1 inside linebacker and 1 tight end. NFL news: right before the draft, the Baltimore Ravens signed cornerback Lamar Jackson to a 5-year, $260 million deal, $185 million in guaranteed money. One NBA playoff game, it was the Celtics beating the Hawks in Atlanta, 128-120. Jaylen Brown, 32 points. Jason Tatum, 30 points as Boston takes that series 4 games to 2.
Here's your weatherology forecast. For today, we'll see some partial sunshine developing with highs working up into the upper 50s. Winds stay gusty out of the north and northwest at 20 to 35. Then for tonight, becoming mostly clear with winds becoming lighter overnight, we'll drop back to a low of 33. Lots of sunshine for your weekend. Windy Saturday, a high of 68, and for Sunday, low 60s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Michael Caro.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right, but right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
4 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. You're listening to The Breakfast Show. Thanks to Deb and Pat and Susie for coming in from the Rotary, the convention being held here today and tomorrow. What lovely ladies and all the good things they do, Brent. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Enjoyable visit.
Yeah, very nice. Looking forward to the visit down in Mason City as soon as they get hooked up down there at Gun Sense. We'll be sending it their way, and they have a big weekend. This has been an annual event, and John's been offering a shooting range and some specials and so forth this time of year since he's had possession of Gun Sense. So we'll find out more about what that guy named John's up to. He's
there you go.
Pretty likable guy as well. Want to hit on a few things here while we have time. We want to talk about some businesses, some job opportunities, but I want to get this in before it gets away from us. Tomorrow, the Broken Bow Lions Club will be holding a benefit poker run and supper for Ella Lou Roach, daughter of Victoria and Austin, born with congenital heart defects. Already, I believe Jeremy told me he's had 2 or 3 surgeries already as an infant, and so there's more to come. So they're going to raise money for travel, medical expenses, and upcoming surgeries. Registration tomorrow is at 11 a.m. to noon at Loop City's Rusty Horseshoe Saloon. And any and all vehicles are welcome. It doesn't have to be a motorcycle or your custom car or anything like that. Just drive whatever you have. They'll be going from Ravenna to Pleasanton, Sumner to Oconto, and then up to Broken Bow. And they'll have a free will supper at 5 o'clock tomorrow at the Municipal Building with a silent auction and 50-50 raffle. And you can find out more on this on sandhillsexpress.com's community calendar page.
Our friends at Universal Insurance Agency in Broken Bow remind all of us, but certainly farmers, if you haven't done it yet, this is a good time to review and have the staff at Universal Insurance Agency help look at your coverage. They can help you make sure that you are properly insured on all of your equipment and can help to make sure that your building values are at the appropriate levels before you get busy with the planting season. Call Universal Insurance in Broken Bow at 872-6438, or you can stop into their office right off Highway 2. Also, they have a job opportunity available at the Broken Bow office. They are looking for a client services representative. Are you looking for a job with perks you thought you could only dream of? Well, Universal Insurance of Broken Bow has them. 12 paid holidays, 100% employer paid, employee only health insurance, 401k with employer match. This is a Monday through Friday position, 8 to 5. You can apply on the careers tab at gtagroup.com. Universal Insurance Agency is a division of GTA Insurance Group.
9:07, want to remind you that today we'll be saluting more seniors. And today on this 28th day, on this Friday, it will be Sergeant on KCNI, Sumner Eddyville Miller High School seniors on right here on KBBN. And then on Monday, we'll be featuring Mullen on KCNI, Loop County, and Thedford on KBBN. Well, tomorrow night's the night. Since 1983, the Pantomime Players have entertained the citizens of Central Nebraska, and they're back tomorrow night to do it again. The Pantomime performers have added many new talented local stars to their show, and they still have some of the veterans from back in the day going to perform as well. So come and enjoy some great entertainment tomorrow night starting at 9 p.m. at Sly's in Broken Bow. Going to have entertaining theatrics featuring music, lip syncing, acting, dancing, and plenty of laughs. Make sure you're at Sylvester's tomorrow night. And some of the old faithfuls include Judy Moniger, Pam Gaston, Rochelle Ross, Jim Hartman, he's a funny guy, Tammy Geiser, she's a funny girl, and they're bringing in some new performers, including Dave Downey.
Oh, boy.
I think he's going to drill a hole right in the middle of the Sylvester's floor.
Yeah, and water's going to come out.
Yes, and he's going to sing, let's see, what would he sing? Cool, Cool Water.
There you go.
Liz White, Chuck Anderson, Sherry Beals, and Joe are new faces and talent that you'll be hearing tomorrow night at Sylvester's at 9 o'clock.
All right. Here's a couple of more job opportunities for you that you'll find right now on sandhillsexpress.com. Just go to the employment page. A couple of job opportunities through Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership. They are looking for an individual to work as an infant toddler cook in Broken Bow. This is a full-time position, good starting wage, great benefits, and you would be purchasing food and preparing meals, complying with USDA requirements, and be responsible for cleaning the classroom and doing dishes, laundry, etc. That's the early childhood infant toddler cook position. And they also have an opening for an early Head Start infant toddler teacher center specialist. This is a 40-hour per week year-round position in Broken Bow, starting wage between $20 and $23 per hour depending on your qualifications. Great benefits. Now for this, you must have a Child Development Associate Certificate or an associate or bachelor's degree in early childhood education. You would be responsible for center coordination, supervision, and teaching. For more information on these positions, you can contact CNCAP Human Resource Department at 308-745-0780. The extension is 0, or you can apply online by going to centralnebraskacap.com.
All right, we have more jobs, we have more information, and we have more things to tell you about before we close the show. But we're going to get set up now to go to Mason City, as we promised. Gun Sense having an active weekend, some shooting taking place at their range they provide. You can try out some of the firearms, and also they have specials in the store that John will be telling you about this morning. That's all coming up. Keep your dial set right here.
It's easy to see. Orange and white, John. That's the color of the outside, right?
By golly, 7 years ago, we painted the orange stripes on the building because I didn't want anybody running up and down Highway 2 saying, I don't know where you're located. So we're easy to find, and it has worked over the years.
All right, great. And it'll work tomorrow, right? And people are invited out. Kind of talk a little bit about what you've got going on tomorrow.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are, I guess we can call it annual. We're probably 5 years with your station, 7 years overall of having our annual springtime open house and demonstration, suppressor demonstration right out south of town, about a quarter mile. And I'd just like to thank everybody who's participated over the years and come out and seen us and at least familiarize yourself with what we have available. This year, once again, we got our buddy Dave's favorite rifle, the Barrett 107 with the suppressor on it. If you've never shot a 50 cal rifle, here's an opportunity. As well as we'll have an array of suppressors from rimfire all the way up through centerfire to show just the mechanics of what a suppressor can do. If you're interested in becoming a better shot and improve, if you're a coyote hunter, how you're able to get multiple coyotes at one set, we've got a solution for you.
All right, and the way for that is through the suppressor.
Absolutely, absolutely. We kind of coined the phrase of silencing the sandhills, and once again, thanks for over the years of all my customers who've bought suppressors, and many of them are returning and picking up a second and a third, so they cover their entire arsenal, if you will, of high powers, handguns, and rimfire rounds.
Talk a little bit about the process of getting a suppressor, because it's not as simple as walking in. You'll walk in and look in the case here, and one of these might fit something that somebody has at home, but it's not as simple as just walking in and buying them out of the case.
Absolutely. We got to live by our federal rules. It is about an 8 to 9 month approval wait time for your suppressor. However, here at GunSense, we blazed the path 7 years ago of being a one-stop shop where you can come in here. We do all your paperwork, all your fingerprinting, all your photos. It is all digital now. We transmit it electronically. We by far have the most efficient method to put you on a path for your suppressor ownership. Matters not if you didn't grow up with a computer or a smartphone, that's fine. We'll sit down with you with your driver's license. All we do need is your signature and then your fingerprints, and we can give us 45 minutes to an hour. Your paperwork is completed. We specialize with the number of cans and suppressors we've sold over the years. We have lots of experience. We can tailor to the exact suppressor that's going to work for you, not what you buddy says or what the internet says or any of that garbage. But we've got people here that can tell you or demonstrate, like we will tomorrow, the specific can that will work for you.
Okay, and because of that, you've had customers come from north, south, east, and west, right? Pretty far they've traveled to Mason City, right?
Absolutely, absolutely, and I do appreciate. We have, I know there's other, we were the first to have the one-stop kiosk in Nebraska. However, over the years, other locations have, but we're still drawing people as far as Albion, Ravenna, Pleasanton. We've had Kennesaw, and thank you. They've been driving past the Grand Islands and Kearneys of the world to come see us. I might have to price check. I might need to have higher prices. That's why they're coming to see me. No, it isn't. It's just the fact that we specialize with suppressor sales, and then, oh, by the way, we can sell you firearms as well. And the word's out. If you want a judgment and opinion of what can will work for you, we're the place to come see.
And then if they want something not past a suppressor, if they've already got what they need at home, you've got ammunition and things like that as well. And kind of the question that we're asking of everybody in their different industries is how supplies are and things like that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We are a full-service shop with firearms ranging from handguns through shotguns through rifles. If you are not in a hurry, we can get about anything. as long as we know what you want and we can get it on order or back order for you. Other thing that's a big seller in this area is our thermal handheld binoculars and also the thermal rifle sights or weapon sights, if you will. Very, very popular. Although this time of year we're kind of getting out of that phase. The farmers are farming, the ranchers are ranching. But if it's a path you want to come down, please come see us this summer so we can get them ordered, because the good stuff, when it comes to the thermals, sells out quickly, and it is truly a product you can buy right or buy twice.
Sure.
As for our supply lines, ammo is trickling back on the shelves. We are seeing price drops on your common rounds like your 5.56 223s, your 9mm, even our deer rounds, our common deer rounds, our 243s, 270, 30-06, 6.5 Creedmoors. That ammo's showing back up. Prices are keep creeping down for us. Are they going to get back to what we knew 5-6 years ago? Probably not, because we are inflationary right now, and it is what it is. We're trying to do our part to remain competitive with the price of our ammo and obviously our supply of ammo.
Great. Well, and you talked about kind of getting the process started early if they want to, next late winter and early spring use those binoculars and things like that for things like calving and stuff. Start that process early because it can take some time.
Right. Now, when it comes to the thermal products, it's not so much, there's no paperwork except either your credit card cash or a check, but it's to get a quality product. They're in high demand, and the overall usefulness year-round for a thermal device, especially our calving operations and search and rescue to a point. Define search and rescue. Is it for livestock? Is it, we automatically think, a lost person. But even as much as being able to pull up a thermal, look out across your field at your pivot engine or the level of fuel or propane in your tank, a fine thermal device, you can tell the level in your fuel tank a couple hundred yards out. You can just look, you'll see the level.
Could save you the trouble of, opening up a fence and driving all the way over there.
It truly can. The other usefulness, a good thermal is so refined, you can watch concrete curing. You can see, we already mentioned the level in the fuel tanks. We had one customer who, they happened to look at one of their tractor trailer rigs. They were able to pick out a overheating bearing before it actually failed.
Wow.
You can look around in your buildings for either hot or cool spots up in the corners. If you've got a part of your ducting system, if you're looking for a leak or even an electrical box getting hot, this will detect it right away.
Wow, that's amazing. Lots of different uses.
Absolutely, and by all means, it is a lot of money for a good thermal. I get it. We'll help out where we can, but also realize, get with your accountant, and you can easily make that into a deduction. If your accountant fights with you, well, get a new accountant, because it truly is.
And it's kind of one of those buy cheap, you get cheap situations when it comes down to it, too.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, not naming names, but it's where we live. Had one rancher, life's easy on the internet, it's dead of winter. Amazon, eBay, I'm not picking on them, but he bought a cheap one, got it shipped to him, and he called me on the phone because he threw it in the trash, because when it's 3 degrees outside here in Nebraska in January, and the thermal he bought, a cheap one, when he went to use it, it didn't want to work when it's that cold out. So,
all right.
Well, we've been also selling those long enough. We know the products that work around here, and I'd be more than happy to provide references of people who own them and kind of the price ranges and what's working for them.
Okay. You want to talk about some specific things you've got in the shop right now, and then we can kind of wrap up by talking about tomorrow and what's happening again?
Sure, that'd be wonderful, wonderful. We've kind of, as you look around, I'm carrying quite a line of the old throwback wood stocks that older guys grew up with. I've got some beautiful, I've got a beautiful Browning BAR in 270 from 1996 in immaculate shape. I've got a real nice double barrel shotgun here. I This was the one like at Christie's wedding several years ago. That's not true?
No.
No? Okay. We got some classic Remington BDLs from the 80s that you just won't find anymore. If you do, you're going to spend a lot of money. We're not giving them away, but however, if you're an enthusiast for some of our older rifles, stop by and see them. Of course, everybody's got the AR style rifles. I get it. I do have, this is a real Winchester 94 saddle ring carbine. This rifle, I ran the serial number, was actually built in 1897, still in firing condition. Like all our weapons, I have my man Tim take them out on our older rifles and make sure they're in firing conditions. And any of my calibers I have on the shelves, I have at least a box of ammo for them. This is kind of fun. We go from, here's a new build Henry 22 Magnum, threaded barrel, brand new. Now, it's patterned after, let's just grab one of these old, there's one. This is a Winchester 1890 Metal Crescent 22 WRF, but as you can see, this one was built in 1903.
Has kind of the squared off barrel as well. It's really
cool.
The
octagon barrel. And what's fun, since we're talking about it, is we're real big into the uppers and lowers in the AR world. We'll take a quick look. These are two rifles about 20 years apart. That big bolt, I can change the uppers and lowers on these rifles. Winchester's been doing it for 120 years.
Wow.
So just kind of some fun rifles. If you're looking for throwback gallery rifles, I've got them. Other things in handguns. Oh goodness, I got the wheel guns. I've got some wonderful semi-autos. Like I said, we can certainly order about anything. Now, we all saw on the news recently that our state senate and signed by our governor now of constitutional carry. Well, what that means to us here is everybody for decades, and we all grew up with it, you had a small handgun or something in the console of your bell truck, your side. It's just a way of life. It's a tool. Well, now with the constitutional carry, you don't have to worry about your permit or not having your permit on you if you do get pulled over. We still encourage people to go ahead and take the classes, especially somebody who's never owned a handgun. It's a great 6 to 8 hour training course to learn your specific weapon safely and effectively. And we do encourage it. It's just the fact now that this part of the state, the guys and gals who are jumping in the pickup to run to town, and there happens to be a handgun in the console, you're no longer subject to being pulled over and deemed a criminal. It's a wonderful, wonderful way it should be. Getting back to handguns, this is a hard-to-get handgun. This is the new Ruger 357 GP100. This is actually a 7-shot. I got 2 of them in. I've already sold one. If you're looking for a beautifully built handgun in the 357, it'll also shoot 38s. But as you can see, come down and check it out. We'll be here tomorrow. These are hard to get, folks. And just an array of, this would be like the one that you'll see in Christy's garter when she's playing cards, little Derringer. We're picking on Christy today. It's all good. A little 22, just a nice little.
That's small, but that's probably what, 5 shots?
It is a 5-shot. This happens to be a North American Arms 22. This is in long rifle. We can also get these in 22 mag. A great little pocket gun if you go for your walks and you're, up wherever, and this spring you might come across a rattlesnake or something. Hey, I got a nice little pocket gun, so there you go. So come down and check them out. I've also real nice little Ruger LCP in a 380, which has, as you can see, is kind of boxy on the end, but it also has a built-in laser.
A little laser.
So you can just point the little red dot, and for practice, obviously. We do have, we always think the worst case scenario. I get it, but where we live, the chances are, but there's nothing wrong to be prepared. But however, I do ask, learn your handgun, practice with your handgun, and shooting is fun. And like I said, ammo's back on the shelf, so you can go out and have fun without breaking your wallet. So that's just kind of a overview of some of the handguns and rifles and shotguns we do have in the store. And we invite you out Saturday. I'll be here at the store. My crew gets to go out and have fun, but stop by and see me. I'm open to some bargaining, if you will, or whatever term you want to use, and we'll see who wins.
All right.
All in all, it'll be a real fun day, and I just thank you over the years for all the participation and help me keep our doors open through some of these tough times, and looking forward to taking care of your firearms and your shooting needs, and your suppressors, of course, our specialty, and as well as if you have thermal questions. We'll have people both here at the store and out on the range who can answer detailed questions for you.
Hours tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll be here at 9 o'clock. The range will be hot probably at about 9:30 or so. It looks like we're gonna have a nice day. It looks like the wind's gonna kick up tomorrow afternoon. I'll leave my guys out on the range to decide if it gets really gusty, windy, how long they're gonna go. We normally go to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay.
There's nothing to say you cannot give me a call here at the shop and you're running a bit late. I understand you gotta work or whatever, or you gotta go over to mother-in-law's, but you wanna come out. Give me a call, see if we're still shooting, and I'll say yeah or nay, come on out and get out on the range and just see what's out there, what we can do for you. I also invite my customers who have their suppressors in waiting, if you will, or waiting for their tax stamps. We will sign them out for you. You can take them out to the range, put them on it'll be your suppressor, your rifle, and you can try it out. Unfortunately, I got to ask that it comes back and spends the night here until I get your tax stamp.
Sure.
But that's an option. I do have some guys who do come down and want to take their can out just to see how it performs on their rifle. So it's a lot of fun. It's been good to us over the years. Last year, my guys didn't get a break to do some zeroing and sighting and testing of our own cans, and thank you very much. And we'd like to see that again tomorrow.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, John.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure working with you all, Casey and I, KBBN, over the years, and unfortunately, we don't have Dave out to pick on, but that's all right. He's a good Dave.
All right. Well, folks, if you are listening to this on the radio and you want to see a replay of the video, go to the Sand Hills Express Facebook page. But come out tomorrow, Mason City, look for the orange and white house. And if they stop by here first and want some directions out to the range, you can give that to them as well.
Absolutely. We're in the metropolis of Mason City. You go back west a block and a half, you take a left or south and go about 4 blocks and you're there.
Okay. Sounds
Can't
good.
miss it.
All right. We'll send it back to the studio.
All right. Thank you very much. Always fun to work with John at Gun Sense. He's a good guy. And I don't know what he has against mother-in-laws, but other than that, he's okay. I'll never live down the incident years ago, but that's all right.
Yeah, you went out to the range one time during one of these demos, right?
Yeah.
That John was talking about, and fired a rifle.
It was the big one.
Yeah, the big one,
Yeah.
and weren't quite ready for the recoil, were you?
Well, honestly, I could tell you the whole story, but it would take too long. I couldn't see with my glasses on through the scope.
Oh.
So I took them off. And then I just got too close to the scope, and it got me in the
kickback and boom, right in the forehead.
I'm going to say this.
Well, you were injured.
I was injured.
Did you have to have stitches?
Well, I probably should have, but I went and bought some of those little deals that you stick it together with.
Oh, okay.
Got to town and stuck that on there for a couple of days.
Yeah,
Wasn't any
that's
big
being
deal.
a man.
But I got to tell you, there was some discrimination there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Emily went with you.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Emily was there helping with the remote.
She got all the instruction and they went through everything with her. She hit her target. I didn't get much instruction. I didn't hit the target, and I cut my head open.
Cut your forehead.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is. That's funny.
I know John's not listening, but if you see him, would you pass all this along to him? It is Sally Bell's birthday today.
Slices. Known for pepperoni, but I think you can get up to 3 toppings on it, so check that out. Also, their dining room is now open, so feel free to stop in and dine in at the Pizza Hut in Broken Bow. Of course, they do delivery and carry out, and they are looking for members to join their team, so if you're interested, contact Ladarius, the general manager there at Pizza Hut in Broken Bow.
Mike just dropped a note by and said, I remember that. I assume that's driving around and cruising.
Oh, yeah.
The Garden Center in Broken Bow open 7 days a week already, as they are prepped and ready to go. They are fully stocked. Their hours are, let's see here, 7 days a week. So it is 10 a.m. to 5:30 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday, noon to 4 on Sundays. And the greenhouse is packed full. Greenhouses, I should say. They have vegetables, flowers, grasses, and more. Stop in to see all their color plants that are available. They have the hanging plants, potted plants that are colorful and ready to go. Now, you might have to keep them inside a little bit for a while, but you can have them at your house. They also have the seed potatoes, onion sets, sweet corn seed, and jade green bean seed. Stop in for all your gardening needs, including potting soil. They even carry the new raised bed garden soil as well. And most of all, they want you to just come in and take a look around and enjoy. And if you have any questions about your garden or your yard, they will try to answer your questions. And if they don't have the answer right away, I know Ryan's real good about looking things up and getting it to you. You can follow them on Facebook as well. And that way you'll know when the favorites have arrived of yours. Take advantage of these good days. Get some gardening done soon, but get stocked up at the Garden Center in Broken Bow.
The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and that ties in perfectly with our next live read, as a group of individuals have really had a concern and passion for mental health and bringing attention to mental illness. And so they have created a website, which is a resource of mental health providers in Custer County. That website is mhpcc.org. And we want to emphasize that there is now a Spanish version of it as well, which you can access again on mhpcc.org. One thing people seem to think is that counseling can be costly, but please don't let costs deter you, as many of these providers can work with you. Untreated mental illness can contribute to higher medical expenses, poor performance at school and work, fewer employment opportunities, and increased risk of suicide. So again, a great place to start is by going to this website, mhpcc.org.
Thanks, Brent. I want to make a correction here. The flyer that I was reading the information off of had some times yesterday for the Kearney Area Barbershop Chorus, and I guess they've changed those from what the sheet was originally printed. So here we go. The Kearney Area 1733 Barbershop Chorus, with members of the Hastings Chorus and the Plains and Grand Island Conestoga Chorus, are all putting on a show. And the reason we're telling you about this is we have local folks from here that are a part of the chorus as well. And this is the 2023 annual show at Kearney's Merriman Performing Arts Center. That's on May 6th. That'll be next weekend, 1:30 to 7 p.m. 1:30 to 7 p.m. is the correct time there. Tickets are $12 in advance, $15 at the door. Students are free. And they'll go on with the show all the way through different groups performing. And it'll all be great harmonies and a whole lot of fun, and you're invited. It's sponsored by the Kearney Arts Council. And, by the way, the South Loop Sunrise Band plays the pre-show for that event as well.
Nice.
Stan, I actually talked to one of his employees the other day.
Oh, yeah, at the Whiskey
Barrel. And she's one of the newbies. She's pretty new. She's already got Stan pretty well figured out.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to get her in trouble, but some of the conversation we had was very factual.
Okay. I'm sure it was.
Stan's a good guy. He runs a great business. Whiskey Barrel Spirit Shop right here in Broken Bow. And by the way, you get free ice with your purchase. And again, you buy anything out of his coolers and put them in a cooler and put ice on them, you're going to actually warm them up because he has his fluids in the cooler right on the edge of freezing. And that's really nice, especially going into summer. You're going to drop by and say, you know what, I'm going to pick up a 6-pack of pop or beer or something like that. And nothing more disheartening when you open it up when you get home, or if it's a pop and you open it up in the car and it's warm. You will not get that at the Whiskey Barrel. Also, one of the things that they always want us to highlight is that they work very hard to bring you everyday fair prices. They know what their competition's doing. They are a spirit shop. They specialize in spirits, wine and beer and pops and so forth. And so they make sure they're right in the ballpark, no glitzy specials. And just know that you're paying a fair, honest price at Whiskey Barrel. And if you're there, when Stan is there, you can ask him some questions about just anything. He knows it all, but he would like a little input from you. He feels like his database is a bit drained from all the questions that he has received over the years, and he wants to renew his hard drive.
All right.
Oh, boy, I could go a lot of ways with that one. Here you go.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Hey, I think we've taken care of all the business.
We have. We have just one more thing to do.
All right.
Invite our folks to come back next Monday and join us for the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Now, we don't have any sports coverage this weekend, but we do remind you that it's the citywide cleanup here in Broken Bow this weekend. Your chance to take things down to Tomahawk Park and drop off the allowable goods. And what did I do with my sheet?
We do remind people we will have some Husker coverage for you this weekend on KBBN. We'll continue to do Sunday baseball featuring the Huskers for you on KBBN radio. I haven't looked at the forecast for Lincoln. I think we're good, though. So anyway, we'll plan to have Nebraska and Minnesota in Big Ten baseball for you Sunday afternoon on KBBN 95.3 FM. And I'm doing this off the top of my head. I want to say coverage starts at 12:30, I think, for the game.
You are right on,
Sunday.
man. I got the sheet here. Right on.
Oh, thank you. All right, good enough.
And on the sheet, it also tells us that the Broken Bow Citywide Cleanup free collection site is between Tomahawk Park and Paul Brown Field. They'll open at 8 and go till 3. You can bring brick, lawnmowers, old bikes, metal, automotive, batteries, appliances without Freon. And also the city tree dump up on Reservoir Hill is open for free on Saturday from 8:30 to noon, 1 until 5:30. And so that's taking place. And again, don't forget about that poker run and benefit for Ella Lou Roach, daughter of Victoria and Austin. The poker run is starting out in Loop City at Rusty Horseshoe Saloon. And they'll make their way to Broken Bow. And then there's a evening meal. Supper starts at 5 at the Municipal Building in Broken Bow with a silent auction, 50-50 raffle. This information is also available on Sandhills Express. And again, last but not least, join us on Monday for another edition of the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Well, I send this out to Peggy, Mom.
Oh, my mom?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
To you, Peggy, from the Breakfast Show. It's called Arkansas from Chris Stapleton.